So today I'm going to talk about preparing samples for WDXRF analysis. So we typically get samples in a heavy bulk format that we have to process, or we may get a powder that we have to process. So first thing we have to determine is, can we work with it neat, or do we have to blend it with something just so we can make something that's workable for WDXRF? So we dry it in a vacuum oven, about an hour at 100 degrees C. Then we come over here, right? And we have to make a decision on how we're going to grind it, right? So we use a lucite vessel or we use a tungsten carbide vessel to grind it, depending on the Mohs hardness scale. And granite would typically go into that. Could even use a mortar and pestle if it's just a carbon base. Then we have to screen it down to 40 micron.
I see a hammer on the table too.
Yes, this hammer is used. Believe it or not, we don't want iron on this, so we have to hide it with something protective, but we will break it up initially with that. And we get a powder after the screening, and then we put it in a die, and we make a pellet, or we can analyze a powder, of course, on the WD. And then we have to fit them in our XRF vessels over here.
Okay.
And this is a binder. So the grinding, we can shift over to the grinding systems here. So this is a cryogenic grinder, mostly with organic material. So we'll open it up. Little cylinders in here with grinding steel rods, right, that we oscillate and we break up the material in bonds. And then we just extract it in here and then pour it into whatever vessel to make a disc or look at a powder. And the other system we may use is just an oscillator.
I see.
And that just, the shaker mill, and that just shakes it with the lucite or with this vessel. Oh, hopefully you got that right.
How do you clean them after you use them?
Generally alcohol wipe.
Okay.
But that's a very good question, because now you get to the worst case.
Okay.
This is called a gyro grinder.
Uh-huh.
It weighs 20 pounds, has to be cleaned with sand, it rusts. You can imagine contamination is an issue. This is the large scale processing. So all of this is very small, microgram, gram quantity. This is, no one wants to work with this. This is the device for grinding with this.
So you want to stay with those little guys?
Little guys is great. We all have to go to this occasionally.
Okay.
And then here's the press.
Okay, so this is a press.
Yeah, that's for making the pellets. So that's typically decisions made in processing, keeping it clean, neat, so you get very high quality results, no contamination. That's basically all we use for processing solid samples.
Okay, that was a very good overview. Thank you.
Thank you.